Don't panic, I haven't gone mad. This isn't a repeat of the video that I put out last week, but anyone who saw that video last week about making earrings from my free printable heart designs will know to glaze them I used this product, Anita's 3D Gloss. Now this is a fantastic product and I love it, but I've come to realise that it isn't readily available in other countries, particularly the USA. Well, one of my viewers, Debbie, kindly pointed out that you could possibly use glossy accents to do the same thing. And I know that glossy accents is readily available in America because it's made in New Jersey where the Ranger products are made. So I know that you can get glossy accents there. Now, I have used this in the past, but unfortunately I didn't have any, so I had to order some so that I could show you. But what I did find in my craft stash was this diamond glaze, which I'd completely forgotten about. And this too is made in America, in California I believe, so it's also readily available over there and possibly other parts of the world. So while I was waiting for the glossy accents to arrive, I decided to make a pendant and glaze it with diamond glaze so that you'd be able to see what diamond glaze looks like and also what glossy accents looks like when it arrived. To make the pendant, I went back to the free PDF that I gave away last time and I chose the next size heart up to the earrings and cut them out by hand. And then once I had cut them out by hand, I then used them as a template, but obviously turned upside down in case the pencil slips, which it did. And I drew out 3 more hearts on white card, but you could easily use cereal box card, and I'd highly recommend that because it's great to recycle. It's just I don't really eat cereal anymore, so I rarely have cereal boxes now. So that's the only reason that I am using new card. My husband does eat cereal occasionally, but I think he's pretty fed up with going to his cereal and finding the flaps that close the box up have been stolen by me to make earrings and other beautiful things. So yeah, I probably need to go and buy some cheap cereal and feed it to the birds or something and just keep the boxes. So for anybody that didn't actually see the previous video, what I'm doing here is just gluing these hearts together with high-tack PVA glue. And I would suggest going back to watch that video, and I will put a video card up in the right hand corner about now so that you can click on there and go back and watch that video if you want to. And once you have stuck your pieces of card together, and they will dry up really hard, that glue does make the pendant base or the earring base or whatever you're making, it really does make them sturdy and robust, which is why once you've sealed the whatever piece of jewellery you're making, once you've sealed it, they are pretty strong and they do last a long time as long as you don't get them wet. So the next stage is you need to spray this with sealer. You can see how hard that is. You need to spray it with some kind of sealer, like the one that I use is called Plasticoat. And oh yeah, you mustn't forget you can just use a nail file, an emery board or a piece of sandpaper to just smooth off the edges, because as with the earrings, it's best once you've got it all ready, it's best to colour the edges, but we'll get to that in a moment. So this is the sealer that I use, and you must do this because if you don't use sealer on an inkjet print, it will smear and blur, or it can smear and blur when you put the glaze on there. So believe it or not, this sealer is matte. It just looks glossy because it's very wet at the moment, And I very cleverly sprayed both sides at the same time, so I had to sit and hold that for 20 minutes because I couldn't put it down anywhere. Yeah, not the best idea I've had. When the coat that you spray on is dry, you need to colour the edges. I coloured mine once with a light blue Sharpie, but then I went over it again with a darker one because I thought it looked better with a darker edge to it. And then eventually I am going to attach a pendant bail on there. With the earrings, you will know that I punched a hole in them to attach earring findings. But for pendants, I prefer these lovely pendant bails. Very easy to glue on. But before I do that, I'm going to show you how I applied the diamond glaze. And this is slightly runnier than the Anita's clear gloss that I used on the earrings. But actually, I did prefer the runniness. Well, it's not exactly runny, it's just more fluid than the Anita's 3D clear gloss, and I did prefer that. Oh, see this? If you do spill any on these honeycomb silicone mats, you just literally peel it out. It's one of the reasons why I use these mats, because if you do spill any over the edges, it doesn't make a mess everywhere. You just wait for it to dry and then pull it out like you saw me do there. I applied a good amount, but you don't want to swamp it because you can always add more while it's still wet. Obviously it's more tricky to add it when it starts to dry off. And the same as we did with the earrings, you just use a toothpick to pull that sealer to the edge, and also use it as an opportunity to get rid of any air bubbles, because you don't want air bubbles to dry up in this. It does kind of spoil the look. So that's what you do. You pull it all to the edge, and just be really careful with this stage because you do want to make sure that it's all pulled to the edge all the way round. It is quite easy to miss tiny little gaps, and I mean, it's not the end of the world if you do miss any, you know, if there are a couple of tiny gaps, but you know, just pay attention and try and get the whole thing covered. So that's what diamond glaze looks like, and I actually do love diamond glaze. I don't really know why I stopped using it. It wasn't really until Debbie reminded me about glossy accents and I went looking for it in my craft stash and found the diamond glaze and thought, oh, I remember this. And I did used to use it a lot at one time, and I actually stuck the pendant bail on there with diamond glaze as well. I used it as a glue, but I waited until I had glazed both sides of the pendant and they were both dry before I stuck it on there. And then I just used this simple ball chain and some jump rings to attach it to the pendant, and that makes a really pretty pendant. And this would be a brilliant thing to do if you've got grandchildren, maybe at half term, if you wanted to make this with them. I think they'd probably really enjoy making this, maybe for a mum or an auntie or somebody for Valentine's Day. So the next pendant you're going to see is also from my free heart designs. I can't remember which number it is. At this point I've given away 8, and I can't remember what this next heart, which number it was, but it's still available on my website, and the link to my website is in the description underneath this video. Now on this one I used the glossy accents, and you know, I went all through the same process with this pendant, and you can see how shiny that is because it's glinting in the sun. Yes, we have sun in the UK today. Unbelievable after all the grey, murky days we've had where it's poured with rain. But as another Debbie that I know who lives in Canada pointed out, you don't have to shovel rain. And she's absolutely right. So yeah, and I obviously used the silver ball chain on that one. So that's what diamond glaze and glossy accents looks like on your finished pendant. So for all my American viewers, don't worry about Anita's clear gloss. Get one of these two, glossy accents or diamond glaze. I will put links on my website to them if you want to buy them from Amazon, although I'm sure your craft stores over there will carry both of those products. So if you can get them in a local craft store, I'll urge you to do that, because otherwise we lose our bricks and mortar craft stores. I only put stuff in my Amazon shop for people who can't get these products locally, okay? So that's it. Glossy accents and diamond glaze. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I'll be back very soon with another video. Until then, stay safe and I will see you again soon. Bye. Oh, and there are more free heart printables to come, so watch out for those.